Hi. It's been a long week at work. I'm quite tired. And now it'll be a weekend filled of work too, but still I'll be able to work from home. Right now I'm just relaxing, listening to an album with a Swedish-Dutch singer-songwriter Cornelis Vreeswijk and jazz pianist Jan Johansson's trio. Give them also a telegram. I'm going to answer an interesting vinyl collector thread that I found on YouTube the other day. I think it was Mr. Hall of Fame who put it out there, but I saw it first on Spellerid's YouTube channel. So I thought I'd answer some of these questions here and show some examples. First, I'm going to fade out Mr. Vreeswijk a bit here, sorry. First, 3 favorite vinyl labels. This is something I could talk quite a lot about because even as a child I became very interested in the labels of the records for some strange reason. I don't know why, I still don't know why, but I like it. So, since, unless some of you may not have noticed, I'm from Sweden, so I thought I'd be a bit nationalistic and show 3 favorite Swedish vinyl labels. Here we go. The first one is actually the label that is featured on this LP, and it's called Metronome. It started in 1945 and became one of the most successful and important labels of Swedish pop music. It started in 1945, and the owner was the young jazz drummer Anders Burman. He's still around us, although he's not that young anymore. And they started mainly by recording 78 RPMs, of course, but they were the first record label who issued vinyl LPs. And I'm holding here the second vinyl LP that was released in Sweden. It was released in 1951. Ralph Flanagan and orchestra playing a tribute to Glenn Miller. It's a 10-inch LP. I'm going to show you what the label looks like. Something like this. And the 78 RPMs look exactly the same. Sometimes on the Swedish music, this green part, I don't know if you can see this is green here, is yellow. Still, this was what the 78 RPMs looked like, and the early 10-inch LPs. They were discontinued in the mid-50s. And then when the 12-inch LP took over, the label became dark, very, very dark green, almost black. Like this. This is an album with Chris Barber's band, and his jazz band, Chris Barber Bandbox Volume 1 from, well, 1959, I think. So, this was the second label on LP. Of course, there are some small variations all the time, but the main design was a bit like that. I'll just put that away for now. Then around 1961-62, the label changed and it became blue, different shades of blue. Looks like this. This is an LP with Swedish song group, jazz vocal group, Gals and Pals. An album from 1965. And the label looked like this. The single labels looked a bit almost like this, but instead of blue, they were in green. different shades of green. This label continued up until 1973, 1974. I think they switched around 1974. And then they switched to this one. This is called the yellow Metronome label. It starts with white and goes out in different shades of yellow and brown here. But we collectors, we call it the yellow Metronome label. The label was bought by international record companies via Warner Elektra Atlantic in the early 80s, I think, and a couple of years later Anders Burman sold the company. The record company still, or the record label still exists today, but they are not active on the vinyl market anymore, well, as far as I know. Okay, that's one of the most successful Swedish record labels of all time. Now I'm going to be I come from northern Sweden, and in the 1970s, from 1974-75 up until, well, mid-80s, we had a quite successful record company there called Manifest, and they were quite successful at the time. They recorded a lot of folk music and a lot of Swedish progressive rock and a bit of jazz too, and well, quite a lot of things like that. Okay, and the problem, it's not a problem, but an interesting thing with Manifest was that they changed the label design almost from issue to issue. But this is the first Manifest issue from 1975. White, very simple, with black text, but when you switch it over, it's black with white text, and Manifest the other way around, so to speak. This is the first issue of Manifest, a very good album called Anton Svedbergs Svängäng. I'm going to show you a couple of other examples on how the record label could look. This is an album from 1977 by the multi-musician Andreas Arflot, and the label of this one looks like this: white and grey with an I. Correct there. I don't know if you can see. I think so, a bit like that. In black and white. The jazz rock group Hornet, their second record, Fritt Fall, from 1977, had a more colorful label in blue-green, like this, something like that. Sweden's answer to the band was a band called Recoil is what that means. They made 3 albums. Yeah, 3 albums on Manifest. God, I hope I'm right now. Yeah. And this is from 1980. They have a quite simple and plain label in white with text in brown. I don't know if it's too much contrast here, but well, anyway. They ended their record issuing business in the mid-80s due to economic difficulties, so to speak. But I like this label because, well, first of all, a bit proud since I come from the same town as this record label, Luleå. Okay, so from one end of the spectrum to the other end of the spectrum. If Manifest changed their record label from record to record, the same can't be said about the Lidköping-based company Anette, performed by the drummer in the orchestra Cool Candies. This label was formed in 1965, I think, and the first LP was this one. It was Cool Candies' second LP. Other bands and other musicians issued their records on this label too, but it was mainly Cool Candies label. And it looked like this. The first issue from 1967. Orange with name in white and text in black. Quite simple. And then 11 years later, in 78, this album was released by Cool Candies, and it was the last one they made for Anette. The record label stopped their issuing in late 70s. And the record label on this record looks, like this. So, if I try to bring up the other one, you can do some comparing, and you can see that they are exactly alike, even though there are 11-12 years between them. So, that was my 3 favorite vinyl labels. And I think I'll continue this thread in another video, because I have some more interesting questions here written down on this note. So I'll get back to you. Bye bye.